I specifically heard God say, neither. She's not a replacement. She's not a fill-in. She's a distraction. The only goal of the other woman, outside of trying to wreck your home and trying to take what belongs to you, is keeping you, the wife, so distracted on what she and your husband have going on that you don't pray for your husband, you don't pray for your marriage, and you forget the very thing that God has promised you and said was already yours. The whole goal to this other woman is to distract the wife from going after the things that God has already declared as hers. The whole purpose of the other woman is to distract and keep that wife so frustrated and so upset and even angry to the sense at her husband, so that she does not, the wife, go after the things that God has already declared is hers. You have to understand, the enemy is going to allow her to do her job. And your husband, he going to probably be so caught up in his ways and caught up in her and doing all kinds of things. But they that wait on the Lord, okay, should renew their strength. God has given you a specific promise. God has given you a specific instruction. God has said a specific thing to you concerning your marriage. Don't let no other woman distract you to the point where you give up what God has already declared is yours. Matthew 19:6 says, what God has joined together, let not man separate. No man, woman, child, boy, or girl, relative, family member can come in between what God has joined together. There will come a day and there will come a time when the wrath of God in his judgment will deal with that situation by fire. In the meantime, you hold on to God's promises. You hold on to the thing that God has already declared and said is yours. What God has joined together, let not man separate. And sometimes, wife, even your husband, the enemy used as a distraction. Because this woman can have his nose so wide open. And the things that you would start to experience with him, whether him being inside of the home or outside of the home, the very thing that you will start to experience with him, you will start to believe that, man, surely God made a mistake with me. Surely these things are not going to come to pass. Surely these things is not going to happen. Have you heard of Jehovah Gibor? That's the God of hosts. That's the God who fights for you. That's the God of war. Don't allow these temporarily things that you're seeing that's happening right now. These temporarily things that's taking place right now. Don't allow these things to distract you to the point of you giving up on the very thing that God has already declared is yours. Luke 1:37 said, nothing is impossible with God. God is not a man that he shall lie. Once he say a thing, it is done. It is sealed. How big is your faith? How long can you go? How long can you believe the very thing that God has promised you? God said, what I have joined together, no man will separate. Not your husband, not the other woman, or anybody else in between. The God of hosts, Jehovah Gabor, is fighting for you. Do not allow distractions to take the place of what God has already promised and declared is yours. It is yours.